Essentially, it's all audio, video transcription service, right? It's anything that been into speech, whether it's an audio and video format that needs to be into transcription. Now, it could be different segments, right? For example, researchers in universities, they look for all these research papers that they take interviews for many people, and that needs to be accurately transcribed. There are legal investigators, legal side of it, court hearings. There is e-learning platforms. There's movie production houses. Actually, it's funny, the movie production houses, sometimes they need actually each and every utterance included.
Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, welcome back for another episode of Business Ninjas. I'm here today with Sanjiv Jha. He's the co-founder and CEO at Scribie. Sanjiv, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Kelsey. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, excited to have you. So Sanjiv, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. So as you said, I'm Sanjiv Jha, one of the co-founder and CEO of Scribie.com, which is one of the largest transcription platform. Now, I've always been passionate about solving complex problems in a simple way. I have always believed that technology can be leveraged to make tasks more efficient and cost-effective, right? And that's what my company, Scribie, aims to achieve. Our core belief is that doesn't matter what organizations you work or what role you play, you always keep customers at the center stage, right? That's the kind of game plan. Just to give you my background, I've been in technology for a long time, been in the leadership roles for large corporations such as Walgreens, State Farm, GE and all, but always had the entrepreneurship within me, right? And, as the technology-driven company Scribie, it puts me in the nice spot because I have the customer-centric approach and also the technology side. So that's kind of brief about myself, like how I evolved from the corporate side to the startup side.
Yeah, that's fascinating. So kind of all of that experience brought you, your co-founder and CEO at Scribie. So why don't you tell me a little bit more about Scribie and, how you guys got started?
Absolutely. So Scribie is basically a human-based transcription company that helps organizations grow by providing accurate and affordable transcription services. So when you say transcription, it's all about your audio and video to text, right? In Scribie, we use advanced technologies like highly skilled transcribers to afford the high quality transcription in a timely manner, right? As I said, our focus has always been customer at the center stage for our operations and providing solutions. Now, whether it's academic research or legal proceedings or business meetings, we cover all these aspects. So at Scribie, you can trust your transcription needs, and we always keep in mind the accuracy, efficiency, and affordability is the key factor.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, after you.
No, that's what I was saying, that, these are three things that people look for, businesses look for, and we are very happy that for over the years, we are able to achieve all three.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. And, when you talk about transcription services, what type of transcription services are you talking about? Is it video, podcast? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Sure. Yeah. So essentially, it's all audio, video transcription service, right? It's anything that been into speech, whether it's an audio and video format that needs to be into transcription. Now, it could be different segments, right? For example, researchers in universities, they look for all these research papers that they take interviews for many people, and that needs to be accurately transcribed. There are legal investigators, legal side of it, court hearings. There is e-learning platforms. There's movie production houses. Actually, it's funny, the movie production houses, sometimes they need actually each and every utterance included. For example, door opens, like the drrr sound. So all these will be good there, which AI definitely can't do it. Now, speaker tracking to it, the captions, the subtitles to it. So all these together, we provide a service through our Scribie transcription platform.
That's so fascinating. So it sounds like you take that human element to really go beyond what AI can do.
Yeah, absolutely. You hit the right spot because the way we position ourselves is the AI or technology, right? Plus human in the loop. Now, AI has evolved, right? A lot of things are happening right now, and which can provide really accurate transcription, which is okay for your personal use and whatnot, where you have to go and edit and make changes if there are some wrong, some words are wrong in it. But you think about companies like legal proceedings, court hearings, like interviews in research firms, you cannot go wrong. It can affect your brand. It can affect your, people can get sued over it.
Right.
And of course, those people who has a hearing problem, they don't want to read something which is inaccurate. It can be those 2 or 3% of inaccuracy can cause life and death situation. So that's where human in the loop comes into play, where technology helps to achieve that percentage, and then the rest is done by human in the loop. And then we actually say that we provide 100% accurate transcripts in the industry.
Yeah, that's really fascinating. And, you've mentioned to me in other conversations that Scribie is a bootstrap company. Talk to me about kind of the roots of how you guys got started.
Oh, really? That's very true, because we have a very interesting story, and that's no less than any Hollywood movie, right? So, so this is about we 3 friends, myself, Sanjiv, one of the founders, Rajiv Poddar, and our third friend, Rahul Singh Kushwaha. So we are 3 co-founders, and it goes long back. We are college grad friends, right? And so we always been together as best buddies, and always had in mind that we should do something for the society, or something which can make a difference, right? Whether it's organizations or people's life, right? So that's how it started. Again, with the bootstrap, it's hard to be all 3 not working. So while Rajiv took the leap into the startup, me and Rahul kind of deviated towards the corporate side, but always been in touch, always been the outside. We supported it. And it got to a point, which is unheard of, like, you get to a 50,000 plus customers, $1 million revenue, just being bootstrapped, right? And then a few years back, we came to a point that, okay, we are enough. Now we have to come 3 of us together again to take it to the next leap, right? And usually I see college friends, they depart, and then you always have a phone call on birthdays and all, but they never get a chance to work together. Fortunately, touch wood, that we all 3 came together, and then we were like, you hit the spot, that you're like, okay, let's do it now, take it to a different level. And that's how we got started again. And we 3 are back in business, and we are like having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I bet. So, it sounds like you 3 friends that kind of started out together. You bootstrapped the company. Do you think that it's kind of that really nitty gritty, hardworking backbone of the company that separates, Scribie from its competition?
Yes, I would say that. I will add and double click on that, right? What happens as the company grows, a lot of funding and whatnot, your focus, you go away from customer, right? Now, if I see any industry you work for, there are 3 important ingredients, right? One is the quality, second is the speed, and the third is the price, right? Now, often you can achieve 2 by sacrificing the third one. Fortunately, it worked really in our favor with 3 of us together, bootstrapped, that we were able to achieve all 3. Now today, and the second thing is that we able to even create the platform at a fraction of cost that our competitors have created. So, and we are very laser focused on how customers should get profit out of it, how they should get everything they need. Our transcribers, who are the backbone of the company, right? They're freelancers from all over the world. So we provide a big opportunity for them to work with us, and we have to think about them as well. So I think it helped us to be bootstrapped at this point. With 3 of us together, we had the same vision, same goal. So we don't have to kind of deviate while one person is saying, not that we don't fight, we fight on based on what customer needs, but it's always been very, very professional, right? And end of the day, it helps us to scale faster. So I think it worked really great for in our the way we have shaped our company, and we're very proud that what we do today, whether it's a customer or from transcriber side.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And, to the point of your customers, do you tend to see trends in the size customer, type customer that Scribie works with most? Because I know you mentioned academic, you mentioned media. So walk me through kind of your client profile.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have very extensive different verticals, right? So since our platform is agnostic to any transcription that need you have, but then there are different verticals that we have. One is definitely big universities. So all the top universities are our clients. All the legal side, which definitely needs the legal transcription. There are companies which are coming up, like I already said, they are AI-based companies who actually need a manual transcription, which is very funny because she's an AI-based company. That's you would think that AI can do all the things, right? But that's not the case. You need the human touch. So I think from a vertical perspective, we have several of them, but then the end goal is like what their individual need is, right? Some of them have, I need it very faster, right? Some of them like, you take your time, but I need very, very accurate sort of things. Some of them need a speaker tracking in it. Some of them use Bitsy component to it. So I think it depends upon the different verticals. So that's why it helps. Like we always understand what customer need, and accordingly we customize our approach to provide a better service to them.
And when you say speaker tracking, do you mean like person one talking, person two talking? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, absolutely. So like one of the verticals I didn't talk about is a podcast, right? Some of the like podcast. So where, there could be one speaker, two speaker, or multiple speakers could be there, right? So how you track them accurately, that when, who said when, right? And have their names or the way you want the names to appear in there. So those are speaker tracking, which often AI or any automated service fails, right? It will put, different names to it or can't track it, who is talking. So that's one of the things that are very important. And the other one is that, apart from speaker tracking, if you need custom formatting, right? For your branding, for your SEO, for your business or marketing. So that's where also comes into play that how human in the loop helps to achieve that as well. Because SEO is one of the biggest factor for marketing, right? And they need those things in place. So that helps all those speaker tracking in our transcription service.
Yeah, that was going to be another question that I had kind of on your customers with what was their biggest challenge. And it sounds like kind of that speaker tracking may be one, the need of getting that turnaround time faster. That sounds like that may be another challenge that they have often. Is there another challenge that you hear often?
No, Kelsey, I think you hit it right. Like, and we really get connected to the customers all the time to understand like why they are coming and why they stick to us, right? And most of the businesses do that. So common challenge is what you talked about, that accuracy, like that has to be like, and unfortunately, they say that many companies promise it, but they fail to deliver. Some of them can say, I can provide high accurate, but then you know what? I will charge you like fortune for that. So that's another challenge for that. Third is like having the human touch that you can tweak things around, right? So it's a big one. And then one of the other things I will add is your security and privacy, right? So now the freelancers are involved here and the technology is there. So how we can secure that file, how I can make sure that none of the transcribers have the full view of the whole speech, right? Mm-hmm. So you kind of technology helps that to kind of make sure that only a certain portion goes to a certain transcriber. So it's very secure in that sense, and it's very privacy. We take very good care of when it comes to security privacy. So I think that's also differentiates us from our competitor, that not only is accurate, cost effective, and it's quality wise, but it's the security and privacy and other thing that we take care of them.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I think you raised a really good point about privacy. That's not something that I had necessarily considered because, when you're talking about legal documents, you're talking about, higher ed institutions having all of this. I imagine too, like you said, privacy can be a big concern for them.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. No, that's a very important part because you think about it. For example, I'm having a board meeting, right? Hours and hours of board meeting. And I'm talking about certain stocks that how our strategy will work. And I pass that information to somebody who can take undue advantage of that, right? So it's a very, very important thing that you have to take care of a customer, that how secure it should be, number one, like when they send us the file, and how secure it for them that when you download the file. And third is if they need to delete it, like, you have to remove the file between their teams, but that needs to be transmitted. And also from the privacy factors, like, there has to be some jargons that we have, like, we use differently, so that we have a library full of jargons that, as we get our customers to tell us, we have to change that from privacy perspective. So those are the important stuff. Another one is medical transcription that though we are not we don't say we are medical transcriptions in our portfolio, but a lot of customers reach out to us for medical transcription. And that's a very important part, that whether you are a certified medical transcription or not, you have to make sure that you take care of the privacy and security, right? Security. So we do that as well.
Yeah, that's really fascinating. It's interesting to know kind of that back piece too, that the company has the capability to tap into as well. So kind of talking about security and privacy, it sounds like that may be a big misconception that people have, that they may think that their information may not be secure. But it sounds like, Scribie obviously takes great care of that. What would you say the most significant misconception that people have about either the industry or Scribie would be?
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest misconceptions I've seen, that people think it's very straightforward, right? Hey, I provided you the video audio file, somebody will hear it and transcribe it, right? It's pretty easy, but that's not the case, right? There are a lot of things goes behind it to make sure, like how you split the file, how it's tracked. We should not allow AI takeover of it. We have to make sure that whole end-to-end things can be tracked. If somebody is dissatisfied, right? For example, there are mistakes happen, and we are prone to that as well, right? So how you can provide a proofreading to it, right? How you can provide a quality check to it. So people don't see that the things that goes behind the scene. So that's one of the misconceptions I have seen. People like, oh, it's just a transcription. Second is like how captioning should work, or subtitling, right? Think about we are talking together and I'm speaking, and our captions or subtitling has completely not aligned what we're talking about, right? So that's a very important part of it, like how we can time code in there. The other misconception I do see, that sometimes people come and say that, you can provide it much faster with the technology there. But they sometimes forget about that, how accuracy or in a little bit of word change can damage the brand. And we have seen that, right? We have seen the companies which have come to us from our competitors saying that, they say that one or two words doesn't make a difference, but actually it cost us a really, really fortune, we are close to get sued. And we said, okay, that's exactly what we stand for, that, we have to take care of you. So that's one of the challenges that I have seen misconception-wise, that people don't understand the whole things, the 9 yards goes behind the scene.
Yeah. And it sounds too like, technology is a fantastic tool, but also too, it sounds like Scribie really places the importance on that human touch, like you said, making sure that, you're as accurate, as possible with the speaker tracking, with the different dialects and so on.
Exactly. No, I mean, end of the day, you have to kind of stand out from your competition too, right? You have to make sure that everybody tries to provide a better service, I'm sure, but then there are limitations, like people have, for some reason or the other, right, happens. Like, for example, easy to use platform. We always talk about it, but actually it's easy for our customers who are coming in to use it, right? We take care of that, like, make sure that your end-to-end customer experience is much, much better. And that's how we stand out as a brand as well, like how you can have technology plus human in the loop. You can have easy to use platform, how you can be faster. Actually, talking about the differentiation, right? You want to believe that when we started, that time, it was like 48 hours of turnaround time. And the years has been passed, and our competitors still not able to surpass like 24 hours or 36 hours.
Yeah.
Why we do it in like less than 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
Even sometimes we do less than 12 hours, and we feel very proud about it. Like, we can achieve that speed better than anybody else.
With accuracy.
With accuracy, all right.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's fantastic. So, Sanjiv, if people wanted to learn more about Scribie, where would they go?
Sure, yeah. I mean, they can definitely, we are all over the place, so they can definitely find us. And it's very easy to find us. Like, transcribe, describe. Scribie comes from the transcribe, so it's pretty easy to remember. But we have very strong online presence, and they can find us on various social media platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We also have a website, scribie.com. We have different blog posts for helping, different sectors. So they can find it there. We do have our office in California. We do have a complete good support channel. They can reach out and call to us. So I think one of the things that I didn't touch base was the support, right? I mean, some people, like when you have the customer coming in, we forget about how important is that for you to be available for them when they need you. Same thing goes for transcribers, where the freelancers from all over the world, they are trying to earn money to work with you, but then they also have a need, right? How you can make sure that you balance it out and you provide a good customer support. So that's the other one. You can call us anytime and we are like always available.
That's fantastic. That's great. So Sanjiv, as we wrap up this podcast, is there anything that you want to leave our listeners with, either about, transcription services, about Scribie, about your background, how it led to Scribie? Anything you want to leave our listeners with?
Yeah, I think one of the important thing is like we are living in a world post-COVID, which is a little different than how the things were earlier, right? And Scribie has experienced, though it has experienced growth from inception, but we have seen like how we have to change things and, we tweak things when things like COVID happens. And, COVID has made everything really online. Like, kids try to do more stuff online now. The faculty members do online stuff. The most interviews happen online now, not one-on-one, right? So one of the things is like post-COVID, we have definitely changed our offerings as well, the way we do it. And it's remarkable, like, with the online being, we're able to scale it and support it the same way the way we were doing earlier. Of course, anybody has a unique need, and definitely after COVID, the businesses have changed, right? So we make sure that, whatever your situations are post-COVID, we are here to help. So yeah, I mean, I can say that whether you are you have a research need, you are in academia, whether you are a podcaster, you are e-learning, you are legal side, anywhere you need your content to be accessible, people need to find you, right? And need to understand what you have talked about it. It's important for the SEO, for the marketing perspective. We are there for them to help.
That's fantastic. Well, Sanjiv, this has been a fantastic conversation. I love you breaking down, the hands-on approach that Scribie takes, the human element, talking all about transcription. I think this has been a great episode, and I really appreciate you being on Business Ninjas today.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for the opportunity.